here we
Oh, yes! City is still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, the second recording of Sunday, August 3rd. So again, if there's any transfers, we don't care. Anyways, fact off, self-promo before we get into today's episode. Why does it always remove Mila? I don't know. Follow us. We're gaining to 100 subscribers, so be a part of the first 100 so you can say you were here first before we completely blow up. Like, we combust. Anyways, follow us on socials too. Well, that stuff. We're gonna rank the top 5 players in every position, and we'll snake it. It'll be like a little, not draft style, but you get the point. Anyways, let's jump into today's topic with the people at the very, very back. The goalkeeper position. I will start with my number 5, and for me, off the back of his FA Cup performance, I have Dean Henderson here. I think he was supposed to be United's one at some point. It never really turned out. But ever since going to Palace, like, he's been very good and has been kind of in the English conversation for being their goalie. It's always going to be Pickford. But I like that he wears a hat sometimes. He's decent with his feet. He's a bit of a shithouser. And he's a penalty specialist. Like, you guys know my opinion on Emi Martinez, so I can tell you right now he's not on my list. If it was me, he'd be probably 6. But yeah, Dean Henderson is at 5 for me. Mila, who do you got?
You got a cheater at number 5. At 5, I think a lot of the similar reasons that you just said, minus obviously the performance in the cup, is Trafford for me. And I think that might be a little bit of a swing, but I'm hopeful, and I'm a huge fan. He's been in big moments where he can save penalties. He's not afraid of that. He's got a large frame, and he knows how to play with his feet. He has the City background. He should be good to go once he starts ramping it up in the league. Yeah, so I got him at 5.
That is a big jump, but I respect that. I think just given off of the only stuff that we've seen from him in the Prem, I can't give him that yet, but I don't have any doubt that he can become that player. I also have Dino at number 5, by the way.
Nice.
I also have Dino at 5. So I won't divulge further, but I agree. Yeah, I think he's an above average goalkeeper in this league. Maybe it's a bit more of a statement on where we're at with the current crop of goalkeepers. I mean, City in transition from what it seems like. Chelsea's, I don't think I need to speak much. I think it might say a little more about the current state, but I think he was a top for Palace. So I think he's earned that.
Fair enough. Alrighty, Mila, who's your number 4?
Number 4. I'm going to go Ederson at 4.
Wow, City
go back-to-back City.
5 keepers in the entire league. That's good.
That's why they're winning the
league. I think he had a bit of an off year last year, to say the least. Still had a good amount of assists, which, hey, if I'm saying that about my goalkeeper, can't complain. Yeah, and the way he plays is perfect for us. It just matches our system, our style of play, especially Pep. Like, he is just the Pep goalkeeper in my eyes. He's changed the way that the game is played for goalkeepers. They need to be able to play with their feet now because of how Ederson can do it at such a high level. And in times where he has a challenger, he has pressure for that first spot, is when that shot stopping comes alive. The last example of this would be the treble year, when he actually was making phenomenal saves left and right to keep us in games, especially the final. So I want to say that he'll take that step back to that old Ederson this year with a little bit of competition, but it could also be the case where he just secedes and lets Trafford take the helm.
Fair. Totally fair. Grant, you're number 4.
I got Pickford at 4. I think we all know what Pickford is as a goalkeeper, so I won't speak too much on it. I think his bozo moments, if you will, I think they get highlighted a little more than usual just because of his attitude. But I think more often than not, he keeps them in a lot of games, and he's the heart of their team. I think he's very, very important for them. So he's a 4.
Yeah, it's a good shout. My 4 is Vicario. I think that in terms of shot-stopping keepers, he might be one of the best in the league. I am curious to see how he will play this year, where it's not just a bunch of teams going one-on-one, against him. But I think that he's an underrated keeper with his feet as well. Like, he's not great, but honestly, I don't know if many keepers are good with their feet.
Robert.
But that being said, like, when Spurs have needed him to be a big-time performer, he's been that. And so that's why he's 4 for me. Don't really have any more. He's Italian. So
yeah, for all the same reasons, I have him at my 3. I think he's one of the best in the league. That was one of the guys that I forgot that I was telling you.
Oh, I left him off. I left him off. He was 6.
Oof.
Harsh, I know.
I don't know if it's that harsh. Like, I think he's not great at claiming. He's not like a great claiming keeper, like off corners and stuff. He
not
can
a presence.
Yeah, and like you said, his feet, like, you could definitely
sus.
spin that in the idea of, like, he can be a little more Robert than, Pele.
But yeah, when he's on, he's very tough to get past. When he's locked in,
he's got that Italian trait to him for sure. Who's your 3, Grant?
I got Raya at 3. I think he's stepped into that role more comfortably. And the Ramsdale being gone permanently, naturally, kind of that's off your shoulders. Like, he won the spot, but I think he settled in really well. He has his bad moments for sure, but again, I think all goalkeepers do. Back to the Real Madrid-Liverpool tie a few years ago, where both goalkeepers, like, top-level goalkeepers, make huge high-profile errors. It just happens in that position, especially the way he's asked to play. I think more often than not, he stepped up to the plate for them, and he's been pretty good for them, all things considered.
Yeah, Raya this season was probably the goalkeeper of the year, right? He played the most games, had the most clean sheets, or tied.
Kept him in a lot of games.
That Watkins save early on in the season has, like, kind of been sketched into my brain for a long time. 3, I have Pickford. For the same reasons that Grant said. I think Everton have been very good defensively, and he's a big reason. Like, there's always some, like, absurd save catalog at the end of the season, and Pickford's in, like, half of them. They are just a Brexit team. Doesn't matter who the manager is. They come in, it's Brexit. He's actually better with his feet than I think he gets credit for. I think it says something that he's stayed England's number 1 for as long as he has. And I think that I've gotten to a point where instead of disliking Pickford, I'm just going to start to enjoy him being a shithouser. So he's my 3.
Exactly. He's a keeper's keeper. He's a keeper's keeper. That's what he is.
I left him off mine. I think the fact that he's been England's number 1 for so long is the state of their goalkeeping department in general. And I think that's why it's up for the taking for Dino, for Trafford in these next couple of years. I think Pickford has secured it for the World Cup, but the next couple of years after that, that's not a safe spot for him. I think there's a lot of talent, young talent, especially for that position, where they can go take it.
No.
Is it my 2?
Yeah, number 3. Or did you give me number 3?
No, I already did 3.
You said Vicario. That's right.
Yeah. My 2 is Allison. Not anything against him, honestly. It's more so the next guy I have up, and I think you can infer who that might be. But yeah, for all the reasons that you just said, like, I think Raya is just better than Allison.
Yeah.
At least now. Not
interesting.
A couple years ago, but now, yes.
That's interesting. I have the inverse for my 1 too. So I guess to counter that, Allison's just the best keeper in the world to me. Like, for most of the time, he just hasn't been healthy, and so I can understand, like, the
issue,
the availability portion of it. But if you were to give me one keeper for one match,
I
I'd
also
probably take Allison.
Yeah, they also picked up his replacement.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I think me and Grant talked
Got
about
high profile replacement.
it wasn't even a question of who was starting though. Like it's gonna be Allison.
It's fair.
Which like I guess to your like the Ederson trap.
I feel like that. I don't
be,
know
like,
if that's
on there.
necessary. I don't know if they send him off for a year and then wait to bring him in. Like they buy him a year early to just put him back on the bench. I don't see the idea in that. But then again, this could go back to what we were saying in the last video. Like, just doesn't really make sense what they're doing. So,
Liverpool have no plan. Where are they all gonna change?
Yeah.
To that
So
sentiment, I don't have a City keeper on my list for that reason. Like
Me
I don't
neither.
know who's gonna play.
Yeah, of course, that's
like,
fair.
But if I knew who was gonna play, they probably would be on this list. I
Mhm.
just don't know who, so I can't I couldn't in
Totally
my
fair.
head rationalize it. But I guess I could say you
Yeah.
can make that argument for Liverpool. Raya was the best
I
keeper
mean-
last year by
Yes, he
some
was.
margin. So
I just
Yeah,
think he keeps them in games, whereas Liverpool, it's not
Uh-huh.
necessarily Allison keeping in games. He's just very consistent. Well, Raya is like the difference in a lot of those Arsenal games because they could be down 2-3-0 in some of these games, but Raya comes with ridiculous saves. And yes, he has mistakes from now and then, but those saves
They
keep
all
him
do.
in some of these big games against high-profile oppositions.
So Grant, who's your two? I am assuming Allison is your one. I think we've had that.
Yeah, I
conversation.
put Emmy at 2. It's kind of crazy. I think I guess the
Obviously.
deal breaker you could say is like the big game, right? Like I guess in a big game, and then maybe it's not to Raya's fault considering the club he plays for, but I've seen Emmy in these big games, these finals, and steps up. So again, I do think there are faults to his game. I totally hear the argument of him being overrated. I think it's totally fair, but he does typically seem to show up in a similar trait with Pickford. Like he instills a different level of confidence. Like he's a leader there. His presence is felt. So I think that's another thing that's important. Not to say Rise isn't, but I think Emmy has a real presence there when he's in goal. So I did put him at 2. It is a little crazy, low key, considering he might be out of the league, but
That's
respect.
why I kind of kept him off my list. You guys know I'm a
I
big
should have,
fan.
but whatever.
Yeah, he's way too error prone for me. I've been pretty consistent on not thinking he's that great.
Yeah,
more penalty.
Mila was ahead of his time though. Mila you had him as your best keeper in the world a while ago. Before that was a popular take. So fair.
I didn't realize that Aston Villa.
Mbappe.
So that's interesting. Relatively similar list there. I feel like that position group for me is just not the strongest it's ever been.
No, it's really tough. I think you could say that for every position though right now.
Yeah.
Sign of the times.
That's fair. Let's just jump into the next one. And Grant, you can start this one off. Right backs, right wing backs. We're grouping them together because I think at this point,
United aren't that special. You don't get your own category for wing backs. Yeah.
Well, what is Nunes to you?
Not on my list. Yeah, I got I put Porro / Pence. That's a bit of a cop out. So I'll go Porro because he plays more. But I had one of the Spurs fullbacks there. I think Spence fell off a bit towards the end, but I wanted to put him on the list. But yeah, it's got to be Porro. I think he does have his faults, but to what Mila just said, maybe it's a state of the times. Nunes could definitely get in there. I'm sure he'll be on one of your 2 list, but he's not. I think it'll take a little more time, but he can definitely be on there by November. But I got Porro for now, just kind of safe.
Mila, who do you have at 5?
I have Munoz. He impressed me last season, and again, I think this is honestly for me. This is one of the weaker positions in the league now that Trent's left, and like Kyle Walker has decreased so much in the past couple of years. Like there really is not much to work with, and I think Daniel Munoz has definitely risen to the top in the past year.
Yeah, he's good. He's a little. This is gonna sound weird. He's older for my liking. I don't know if it was more of a flash in the pan thing for me.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's just like.
Yeah, so when I was saying that I had like a last minute replacement in mind, that was Munoz being taken off for Livramento. So I have
Livramento at 5.
Yeah, I think that there's 4 right backs / right wing backs that I think are just slightly ahead of him. I think his talent is fantastic, and there's definitely a case that he could be up there. I think that for me, the English tax here kind of pays a little bit of a toll. I've seen good stuff from him, but I also have seen some bad stuff. So for me, I just had him at 5. But I think his talent's immense, and there's a chance that he immediately climbs up this list. If I could redo this list now, I probably would switch my 4 and 5, but that's okay.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Mila, who do you have at 4?
So who's your 4?
I'll have Mila go for it.
I have Yuri and Timber at my 4.
Nice.
Solid. That's it.
Right.
These 2, 4 and 5 do not excite me at all, honestly.
I had Munoz at 4. I had Munoz at 4. I think it was really important for them, especially when they got into form. He was a big part to play in that. In these 3 in the back systems, we know how important that position is, and his willingness to just get up and down the flank was very crucial to them. So yeah, he's got the 4 spot for me.
Yeah, I have Porro at 4. I wish I could switch those 2 around now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't really like Porro all that much. But I think that, like you're saying, sign of the times, like maybe as a proper right back, we're going to see a little bit better out of him. There's also a chance that as a proper right back, he sucks balls, and he
was really good at sporting under Ruben Amorim, if I'm not mistaken,
as a wing back.
As a wing back.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Don't want to say more on Porro. I don't really enjoy him. 3, this is where I had the right wing back thing. This is Ahmed for me. I think in terms of talent, I think United have a star boy here, and I think that's where he's going to play for most of the season alongside Mbumo. I thought before the injury, he was the player that we talked about the most when it came to United, and I am expecting big things this season. I think that he's underrated as a defensive player because he's smaller, but in terms of the duels and winning the duels, he's just such a high IQ player for me that he is a top 3 wingback in the Prem. There's not many wingbacks, but I think that his forward attacking output is why I have him as high as I do. So
he's not on my list. I see him as an attacker, so yeah,
either.
he's not on. But yeah, it's a weird list. Yeah, with positions, it's in the way the game is today. Like Ahmad's very good, and if he's plays that position, he'll be very good at it. But
of course, if he
it's
consistently
right
gets
back.
minutes there this season, I think he could be in my next list next year, a year from now.
Mbumo,
But,
this is me just
prestigious list.
This is me projecting where I want him to be. I just think with Mbumo,
Of course.
there.
I mean, I feel like these lists are a mix of that. It's what we've seen and what we want, what we think is going to happen throughout the season.
And clearly no bias at all.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
My 3 is Oleana.
I think he's just
nice.
I forgot Oleana.
There you go.
That sucks.
I didn't put him in though.
Fuck, I put Porro in this list.
I don't think there's many better than him. I still also don't rate him that much. Again, I'm really disappointed.
I'm a fan. Y'all know that, but I did not. He did not make my list.
I'm very interested to see who else you have. I know one. I know number 1. Unless you have number 1 and 2 from your team.
Bro, my list is not that crazy. I got Timber at 3. I know you didn't say anything on Timber, but right back converted to a center back converted to a fullback. Very good defender, smart in possession, good on the ball. He's really sound, really high tech. I think he's a good player. So yeah, he's my 3. So yeah, I got Porro 5, Munoz 4, Timber 3. I think Aina over Porro is definitely a fair shout. Might be leaning towards it as we speak, but I'll stick with my list.
Yeah, so back to Mila for 2?
Sure.
Or is it Grant?
Sure. I don't know. I just did my 3.
I think I just started.
Okay, so Grant, you say your 2.
Yeah.
All right. I had Livramento at 2. I think I rate him really highly. Cobham, of course. But I think now that he's just starting to get over his injury issues and growing into his body again, he's still really young. Also played a little bit on the left as well with Hall going down and having Trippier there. But I think he's really going to be able to lock that spot down and play a majority of his minutes in the right back position, where, again, naturally he's right-footed. I think he'll take that jump for sure. He's shown a lot of the potential like we talk about, but I think this is the year he consistently starts, plays at right back, and does the job, shows what he's capable of.
Mila, who's your chip?
Have him.
Yeah.
I also have him in my two. I think he's a top tier right back in this league, and him and my number one are levels above the others, and that's kind of where I draw the line for elite or on the cusp of elite, and then the other guys. So yeah, Livramento for the reasons that Grant just said, and my own is at number 2.
Yeah, before we all say Reece James at 1, Timber's my 2, and I think it's funny. I'm actually going to use Frimpong called him a fire hydrant. That was the word that he used to describe him, and I think that's just a perfect description. Like, he's just like a fucking physical, strong athlete. I am a sucker for athletic players in the Premier League. It's my weakness, but I think that he was the X factor in getting Arsenal going. Like, I think it was the question mark of, like, if he was healthy, what could he provide? And it was stability. I thought with Ben White and kind of like the carousel at right back that they had for a little bit, it just didn't move me. But him at right back kind of moves me for Arsenal. And I think like him backing up for Saka, he just does such a good job. Drops back in. Like you said, he's just a sound player. So that's why I have him at 2. I thought he was the second best right back last season. So it's more just a bias thing. But like I said, number one? When healthy, he's the best right back on planet Earth, in my opinion. And I don't think it's remotely close.
Yeah.
And we
can do everything.
Much. Yeah, he's
does everything.
A Swiss Army knife at the position. Yeah. And you want him to come back because he's been out. He's been struggling so much. You don't want to see that with any player. So it would be nice to see him just stay consistent and healthy this year and just lock up that right back spot, that number 1 right back spot in the league. There's not a lot of competition, and he's miles better than all of them.
Yeah. The only thing is the fitness. I think the only thing Chelsea fans haven't yet seen from him is just the overlapping, which I'm totally okay with, to be honest with you. We got to protect him and the muscle injury. That has to have an eye on it. You can't just send him up and down the flank for 90 minutes like our previous manager did. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think that is him at his best position. Overlapping, Palmer as a winger tucked in, that right-hand side would be devastating. But again, we saw in the Club World Cup final, he played as a DM and a pivot, looked very good. He can play as a right center back, looks very good. Again, barring fitness, I think he could play that inside 10 role that Cucurella did so well, getting into the right spaces in attack and play in the final third. Just so much quality. As long as he's fit at 100%, no one's better. I agree.
Yeah, he's like, it's leaps and bounds. Like, it's not close when he's healthy. It's Reece James in the pack. Like, I don't even care who else is on your list. As long as Reece James is then it's the only one that matters.
I would never sell him. Going back to that conversation, it would never happen.
You can't.
Yeah.
On to the center backs.
Where are we going?
I start. No, you start, Dylan.
I start?
No. Wait, Grant just started. I start.
I don't know who starts. Someone starts.
Okay. I'm putting Gabriel at 5. I really hate talking about that, but no, he's good.
I think do it for you later.
Just a little bit reckless at times.
Gotten better over the years and from that front.
Yeah, I still see him as this like B center back to the supporting center back to Saliba in a lot of ways. But he's still an elite center back in this league. Again, I think it's also the state of the league in that position. There's only 4 guys that I have over him, and I don't think it's that far away for the lot of them. But yeah, I couldn't put him any higher than 5.
Alrighty, Garnt. Who's your number 5?
And to what Mila just said, my 5 through 2 and realistically 6. I have Vardiol at 6 just because of how much he played at left back last year, and now he's looking like he's playing center back again. I have no doubts in my mind in 12 months he's on this list. Just because of that, he just misses out. But again, I see these next 4 very close. I have been DS at 5. I still think on his day when he has an organized team in front of him too. He can absolutely be a captain in a title-winning defense. I just think last year did a lot of damage to their reputations as City defenders, and it's going to take them this year to bounce back and regain their reputations. So, again, it's really thin for me here at these spots, so that's why I had him at 5.
Yeah, totally fair. My 5, I hinted at it. I think technically it was in our last episode, but I have Euro here at 5. I think that in terms of young center back talents, he's the cream of the crop for me. I haven't been this impressed by a talent coming to United in a really long time. He can play pretty much all across the back line. He's played the left center back. He's played the right center back. My preferred spot for him is the right center back, but he's just gifted on the ball as well as just being a really good athlete. So no bias again there. But Euro is my 5. I'm projecting that he is a top 5 center back at least a little bit here by the end of the season.
I have a very high regard for him and Heaven. You both know that, but I didn't put either of them in the top 5.
Which is fair.
I think there's potential though, for sure, for both of them to reach that point. And 100%. You're up for 4?
Yeah, I will go straight into 4 with Gvardiol. Talking about youth prospects at center back that like were supposed to be the talk of the town, that was Gvardiol. And last year he did a job at left back, and he did it better than I think most players of that caliber would do it. And I think him going back to being a center back is just the natural evolution for him as a player. So this, again, it might be more projecting than anything, but I think that he's a top 5 center back in the league.
Has the traits, no doubt.
He has the traits. I think he's good on the ball. I think it's he, if anything, for me, in terms of players that are going to be the most important to City this season, it's him as almost number 1. Because City are going to be attacking and they're going to get hit on the counter, and his ability to stop counterattacks is going to be the end-all be-all for City this season. So, Gvardiol at 4.
Love it. My 4 is Ruben Diaz, though. I think he offers a lot to our squad in terms of leadership, mentality, physicality, and just like throwing his body on the line to stop goals. But in the past year and a half, he's dropped in a lot of those departments. He's still a very intelligent center back. So I think he needs to just get back to that. It might have just been where we were as a club at the time. Could be bringing down the overall morale. But yeah, I need him to take a step up this year. I'm a little worried he's past it though. So I still see him as a top center back in this league, but 4 was where I could put him. I don't think he's top 3 anymore.
Alrighty, Grant.
Slapped Gabrielle at 4.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
You also have CDM
Yeah.
up on the banner.
Oh, shoot.
Slapped. I slapped Gabrielle at 4. Again, Mila touched on it pretty well. I think he's grown into his game quite a bit. A bit rash, you could say, when he first came on the scene, but he's absolutely matured as a defender, and I think his presence is felt, and it's also missed when he's not in the lineup, as we've seen as well. I think he does a lot for Saliba. Saliba does a lot for him. It's just a very good center back pairing. But yeah, I got Gabrielle at 4. And then 3, again, really close. I gave it to Konate. I think Konate is very good. Fitness is really thing with him. But yeah, when he's playing, when he's fit, top center back.
In my eyes, he's out of the league.
Well, he's there.
I know he's there currently, but
your list, he's not. Yeah,
I'm assuming that Real Madrid
any excuse to get the Liverpool player off the list.
Of course, I can't have
Respect
many.
your game.
For me, and I'll say my 3 so that Mila, you can say your 3 and 2. I have Colwell here, and it's because he's a 1A center back. Kanate is a 1B.
Nice.
And while he is very good, I think the reason that he's as good as he is because he's playing next to Virgil van Dijk.
Oh, of
And
course.
it's very Saliba Gabriel for me, and that's why I don't have Gabriel on my list at all, because I think that the other guy for me
See-
is so good
Oh,
that it makes the other guy look that much better. Like if you were to rip
I
them apart,
agree.
that's kind of where I'm at. So in terms of Colwell in particular, for me, like what a leap from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, real leadership role for him. So I was just impressed with him in his totality, and I think he's been the largest defender riser on my list.
absolutely.
I fully expect him to be England's center back 1 come the World Cup. That's how highly I think he's gone.
I'll be real. I left him off trying to do the under the radar gimmick. I didn't want to put that on him, but you're right. From the year and the criticisms that I think I was pretty critical of him, rightfully so, absolutely stepped up and grew into his role, especially as a leader in that back line. That's what we were harping for all year. And I think we do not make top 4 without him. Obviously, he got the goal against Forest as well. But I think his mentality has been top, and I expect a lot from him. He's the one defender at center back, at least for Chelsea, that is locked into the lineup. So respect, Dylan. Love that from you.
Alrighty, so Mila,
My 3 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah, my 3 is Gavardiol. For many of the same reasons you said. I think just to summarize what he said about it himself is that, yes, he was very successful at left back when we needed him to be, and he can fill that role if he's asked to. He'll do what the fucking manager asks. But when it comes to center back, he is more comfortable. And in my mind, if he's playing left back uncomfortably, less comfortably, and playing at such a high level, then it can only be up at the center back where he feels at home, he feels comfortable. And then additionally, his defensive attributes on the wing, poopy. Not great. Not a great defender on the wing. In the center, though, he's a lot smarter in terms of interceptions, in terms of aggressively pressing and attacking to win the ball back. He's great at those. And I've talked to you guys about it. The only downside I think he has in the center of the park, or in the center of the defense, is his heading ability at times, which can definitely come with IQ and more positioning. But I think that is his only weakness in that position right now.
Fair. Actually, before you just jump into 2, do we all have the same 1 and 2, and we can kind of just move on?
Yeah.
I had Saliba and Van Dijk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Saliba 2, Van Dijk 1.
Yeah, there's I don't think there's much to dissect there. It's the clear 1 and 2, and we talked. If you want to hear our thoughts on those 2 players, you can go check out the previews that we did on all of them. So, on to left backs and left wing backs. Grant, you start us off. We'll snake to me, and then the whole world will go around.
Are you sure? Okay. Left back at 5, I had Ait Nouri. I think in possession, technical ability, we've talked enough about that with him. Obviously, the question marks with his game are the defensive side of the ball. I think in a better side, that's going to be covered than it was at Wolves. So I think the good outweighs the bad with the signing. But again, I feel like we've talked about it enough. I got him at 5.
Yeah. Mila. Actually, no, I'll go, and then you'll do 5-4. I have Patrick Dorgu at 5. I've been super high on the player for a while now. I think that in Amram's system, he's really going to flourish this year. And I think that in the 2 preseason games so far, I know exactly what I'm going to get out of him. I am probably forgetting someone. I struggled with this left back list.
You got Lewis Kelly?
Yep, I forgot someone, so that's cool.
Oh, I didn't forget him. I was just wondering if you put him in.
I forgot Lewis Kelly, which is cool. But Patrick Dorgu is going to be better than him, so whatever. I didn't
put Lewis Kelly in just because again, he's been a left back. He's going to play back, but again, I see him as a long-term 8, and I think his best is when he's getting more into the final third. And I think the way that it looks like Arteta wants to play, it's more of a pivot with that left back. So I think along with the defensive question marks, because again, he's not naturally left back defending in those positions, it's going to come with time. But I think there's definitely a very high ceiling. It doesn't take away from the player that he's going to become, but let's take it one step at a time. He's still a teenager, playing out of position, learning a new position at the highest level. So I think you need to give him some time and grace. So that's why I left him out.
Sure. Thanks for letting me feel much better about that thought process. I just forgot.
No problem.
I forgot about it entirely.
No, I have him at my 5 though. I think he was really good. He had a great showing last season. And again, this is one of those positions where the pickings are slim. I do have a couple guys that I like in the position, but it's outside of the 5. It's pretty hard to pick, in my opinion, until we see more. A lot of the fullbacks in this league are getting phased out because they're old, and then now we're bringing in young fullbacks that need to prove themselves. So a lot of it is up in the air in terms of left and right backs, I think.
That's a fair shout. So then who do you have at 4?
At 4, oops, I checked the wrong screen. At 4, I have Kirkes. I think he's very good, great cross, but he's a cross merchant in my eyes. Going to be great for Liverpool in that sense. The other guys I have are just more well-rounded. That's what it comes down to.
I like Kirkish more though. Like I do like his physical profile. I think his ability to just run up and down and not really get tired, continuously be an extra man in attacks, really valuable. But to Mila's point, I do think they're more refined players at the position. Not to take anything away from him, he's still super young. This was his first year in a top 5 league, and he did really well. Got to move to the Champions, so he's deserving.
I'm not disrespecting.
So he was
no, for sure.
Yeah, he's just
that's fine.
Okay. My 4 was Aït-Nouri. I was really impressed with him last season. I am expecting him to have a big impact on the City team this season. Just really good technically. I don't need to go more in depth on him. We've talked enough about him. So he's my 4. Yeah. My 3 is Kirkes. I'm not going to ramble on about what you guys just said about the player itself.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's good. So Mila,
my 3.
Yeah,
my 3 is Aït-Nouri. Basically for what you said, but I think that jump from a Wolves team where he's been impressing. You guys know also that I've liked him for a while now, so it may be a little biased even if he didn't come to my team. But I think he's super talented, like you said, going forward, and his ability to hold the ball, to distribute the ball. He's just very, very solid. And then that's only going to be amplified when you have creative players in the midfield of City's caliber, when you have a Haaland to feed the ball into, when you have the overlap on Doku or the underlap. There's just so many more options for him to operate. And we haven't had a left back in 8 years. So this is huge. This is a game changer. I think it's going to be really hard for teams to deal with something like this because they haven't seen us do this. This is not something we've been using that much other than Nico O'Reilly a bit. I feel like last season at times, but this will be a whole nother tier of attacking prowess going forward.
So who's your 3, Grant?
My 3? Lewis Hall. I got Lewis Hall as my number 3.
Wow,
I think that was one of our biggest mistakes in the Clear Lake era, in my opinion. Another converted midfielder, but he's been playing left back for a few years now. This will be his 4th year left back. Honestly, he's mainly been playing more traditional fullback. Maybe that's just Newcastle's system, but a lot of overlapping from him. But I think when he does get into those inside pockets, again, another just one of those intelligent players that knows where to go in terms of the space. And again, with the quality in their midfield, I think he'll really flourish as long as he's able to stay fit. I think that left back spot's all his there, competing in the Champions League. It's going to be some tough nights for him, and maybe defensively, but I think the quality's there with him, and we'll see a big jump.
I can't say I have him on my list, but to Mila's earlier sentiment about there being a lot of like really good youth prospects in this regard. Like
He's
Lewis
another one
Hall,
that's got to prove it. Yeah.
he's in that mold. So then, who do you have at 2? Or do we
Who do
all
I-
have the same top 2?
I've got
Probably.
Jedi at 2.
And then Cuckoo at
Oh.
1?
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay. So then let's just debate it then. I have the same.
I
Did you
swapped them.
forget something?
I swapped them. No, I
Okay.
swapped them. I had Cuckoo at 2 and Anthony at 1.
Why is that?
At the end of the
terms of the
season,
left back, and in terms of what the left back is doing, I think Anthony is playing the left back role at a higher level, whereas Cucurella is being asked to do a lot more for your guys' team. He's a lot more versatile in the role. I think Anthony is just operating as a left back at a higher rate.
yeah.
So he's doing one job at a higher level than Kukure is doing multiple jobs, and that's where you're
because it's different. Because like
appreciating-
Cucurella for you guys, he's like a shadow striker at times. Where
he's a
he
10,
literally
he's
goes
a
into the
winger,
box.
he's a 6.
Exactly. That's why I have him very highly in this. But in terms of what the left back's doing, the overall just, defending and assist numbers that Anthony had last
What the
season.
goal numbers, mate?
I mean, the goal
Kukure
numbers are
had 7
great,
goals.
but like
Kukure
I
had
don't
the
think we had
output.
Gavardio at number 1 when he had all those goals. So it's the same. It's the same theory.
No, we
you
didn't.
know?
But you mentioned goals, goal assists. I
Okay.
have him at number 1 for.
assists at the role.
I think he's a better defender, Kukurea. And then in terms of our attack, he was our highest scorer before Club World Cup in the calendar year of 25 in the league. Like without him, we do not qualify for the Champions League. I don't think we win the Club World Cup. I think he was absolutely instrumental to what we did. And to your point, his versatility. He can set up as a center back, a 6, an 8, a 10, out wide, everything. And he does it all at a high level. I think from almost being forced out of the club to go to United on loan to this, what a turnaround, what a mentality from him. I think it says a lot about the player. And I love that everyone hates him. He gets booed everywhere, whether he's playing for Spain, Chelsea, doesn't matter what countries and what cities, and he's getting booed. I think that's Chelsea. So special spot in my heart, son. Number 1.
Yeah, for me, this is 1A, 1B. I think that they're both fantastic fullbacks in similar portions of their career. I think at the end of the Premier League season, I had Anthony Robinson 1A. And then the Club World Cup came around, and now I have Cucurella at 1A. That it's for this position for me and those two guys, they're above everyone else. And then it's just like whoever's having the better moments, right? Like because he had 10 assists. He had 10 assists as a left back. Like I can't deny that at Fulham. Yeah, exactly.
At Fulham.
There's a lot
Which
less
is
options
absurd.
for him to be
Which is
supplying.
absurd.
I think that has to be weighed into it all.
Yeah.
He could still
And then
be arguably underrated. That's a fair point.
100%. And then Cucurella, I mean, you pointed out he's just a versatile player and he's perfect in the system, and his trajectory back to this point in his career, very commendable. But it's 1A, 1B. Like if I could have a 1A, 1B, this is it. Whatever.
Fair.
He's got poofy hair. That makes him one.
Bates red cards.
Yeah. Let's get into our 6s.
Ooh.
I can start here.
Go for it.
I tried not to have newcomers be on my list as much as possible, but
Me too.
I think Zubamendi is some player, and I think that if Arsenal are going to be at the level this season that I anticipate that they will be, it's because of him. And he's just one of those tempo setters for me where I don't care what league he's in, I don't care what side he's in, he just makes them infinitely better. And so I have Zubamendi here at 5, even though he hasn't touched the ball in the Prem.
Mm-hmm. I
left them off for that reason that you mentioned.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I got Zuby at 4, but I have Gravenberch at 5.
Okay, yeah.
I think Zubamendi is going to do a lot for Arsenal. It's going to allow certain players that were cosplaying as 6s to actually go into their role. So yeah, I think he's going to have a large impact on their performances this season and just the way they play. And he's talented. He's Rodri's understudy in the Spain team. He filled the role with almost perfection when Rodri went down. So I've seen a lot from him, and I'm excited to see him in the league, but not for the team that he's playing for.
Yeah. I left him out for that reason, Dylan, but I have no doubt that he's that level.
Totally fair.
realistically, it's just a cope to get different names in. I wanted to put Lavia here, but I just think with the amount of games that he's missed, along with the people ahead of him, it's not really fair to the guys that have been doing it week in, week out. Another one I really wanted to put it here, but he didn't make it above Wharton, is Baleba. That's what really came down to me for my 5 spot. I still need to see a little more from Baleba. And again, he's super young. He's playing at Brighton. It's probably going to happen. I'd say 95% chance. But I think with what Wharton's done, since immediately walking into Crystal Palace from Blackburn Rovers, he's looked at that level. He looks like one of the better players every time you watch Palace. Made it to the England squad. I think he's absolutely, again, fitness, needs to stay fit, but he's in that conversation for me. And I think it's maybe a year more at Palace before he gets a really big move.
Fair. So then who's your 4?
My 4, I put Tonali. Newcastle had a bit of a rough patch throughout the year, and then they switched up the midfield. They had Tonali at the base of it, Joe Linton and Bruno G as 8s, and that really turned around their season. And I think Tonali, kind of a pace setter, it made a huge difference for them, unlocking Bruno G, if you will. Not to say he wasn't playing well beforehand, but I think Tonali played a huge part in there, somewhat of a remontada to get back into the Champions League spots.
Yeah, I flip-flopped with Mila, so I had Gravenberch here at 4. I couldn't not have the main man in the middle for the title.
I also didn't say anything about him. I just realized we just kind of glossed over him.
We talked about Zubi, so here you can talk with me about Gravenberch. Yeah. I mean, his talent finally showed up at the same level as what we were like. Sorry, the expectations and the talent finally lined up for him. I am curious in his role this season if he's going to be asked to do too much. I don't think he's a great progressor of the ball with his passing. Obviously, in terms of dribbling, phenomenal, top class. But the reason that he falls for me on this list is because of the passing play. And I honestly think that their midfield was more of a combined thing than it was a
team effort.
Yeah, than him being
one man. So,
yeah. Do you have anything more on Gravenberch?
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I can talk about it when I
just back to what you were saying though, Grant, about the Baleba and Wharton thing. Baleba does have double the minutes last season than Wharton did. So if
Wharton missed a ton of time with injury.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of them too, and I think Wharton's going to be special in this league. But I was hesitant to put him on this list because of the lack of minutes just in general in his career. He hasn't really played that much.
Greg, did you say you have Gravenberch at 3?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
So
it's just the tip of the cap. And I think on top of it, just the last point on Gravenberch, you're saying we finally saw the talent. We didn't think he'd be a 6. That's the last thing I thought he was. More of an advanced midfielder. So I think that adjustment too, maybe we see a progression in his ability to press the ball with his passing, right? Because I think we see a lot of jokes. I see him at least on Twitter, all the comps of Gravenberch cut before the pass. I think he's used to being in a more forward role, so he's got more people in front of him. I think doing that for a year, maybe we see an improvement there. But yeah, I got him at 3, really high ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's your 2? Will then swing to me. Mila, you'll go 2-1 after that.
Wait.
Yeah.
I think we still got 3s to go over.
I didn't go 3.
So you're 3? Sorry. You didn't go 3. Apologies.
Dylan.
Apologies. I got confused.
I had Onana. But I've been thinking about Tonali.
Injury shots.
Yeah. It's. I want to say when Onana's fit, he has a huge impact on the way Villa play and just overall physicality of the team. So I'll keep him in there for a lot of the reasons that
he's underrated technically as well because he was at Everton.
And then 2.
Yeah.
My 2 is Caicedo.
I think it's.
I think we talked about.
2 and 1.
Yeah. I think
I never said my 3 either. I'll get it on the way around. It's all good. Caicedo being your 2 is fine. I just realized I never said it.
Yeah.
Who's your 3? Because I could talk about Caicedo too. No problem.
3.
Okay. I have Baleba at 3. I'm that high on him.
Yeah,
I think that in terms of the players that we listed, if we were to rank them by transfer value, he's the next 110 million pound center midfielder.
Brighton tax
Brighton
as well.
tax.
Yeah.
Dude,
Familiar.
I genuinely watched him all of last season and went, fuck, like,
No, he's great. He's great.
Jesus Christ, they were able to replace Caicedo with a variant of Caicedo. And that to where we're gonna get into this conversation now, like Caicedo, the 1 and 2 are Caicedo and Rodri, right? Like,
where do you have him, Dylan?
I have Caicedo at 1.
So I do too, and the only reason is because Rodri tore his ACL. That's literally it.
Yeah,
that's literally
literally it.
Do I need to bring up a certain piece of silverware?
Yeah, that he won over a year ago. Sure,
he still has it. It still is.
Yeah, sure.
No, he's that good, but he tore his ACL after.
I think he's that good. I just think he's that good. I think at the end of the day, it's like he's that good. Like the ACL tear doesn't fucking matter, and he's gonna come back maybe better. He's a freak.
He is that good.
You guys are freak.
He is that good.
Really good. I want to just see him play.
No, it's fair. Though. You guys definitely have every right to put him at 1. I'm not going to argue.
He played the whole year, played at the top.
But, all right, you have every right to put Caicedo at 1.
All the things that I have to say about Rodri, I have to say about Caicedo. It's like the same exact thing in terms of.
It's just with Rodri, people think that they can play a lone 6 in football because of what Rodri has done with our team. He's made it so that we can play a lot more attacking in the midfield, and he is the sole 6. Whereas other people try that and then get overrun. That 6 can't do it. I think Caicedo can also do a job there. So I think it's totally fair to have him at 1 just based off recency. He's done it. Rodri's has
also
really
made of
anything.
rubber.
Yeah, he looked great though in some of the games in the Club World Cup. He also looked rusty in some of those games. So I'm hoping by like month after a month of the Premier League season that Rodri's back to 80%, and 80%
I don't doubt
Rodri to me is still number 1-6 in the league.
Don't doubt it. You've watched him as closely week in, week out. You know exactly what you saw. I think we all agree he rightfully won the Ballon d'Or, but at his age, tearing an ACL, like I feel like it's fair reservations to have. But again, there's no doubt that he can easily get back at the top of this list in 2 months. Like it can happen. But they're both so quality.
There. Again, a lot of these lists really came down to like 1 and 2 being like 1A, 1B for me. At a certain
it's such a subjective thing. Mila had Onana at 3. I didn't really think about him doing my list. I don't know if you did either. I'm not mad at it. Like
no,
when he's playing, he's fit. Yeah, these lists are super subjective.
Yeah, like we totally could have put Casemiro here, and
I'm excited about skinny Casemiro, guys.
Once a week, Casemiro might be the key to all things. Let's jump into 8 center mids. I'll go first. 5, I have Reinders. I tried not to add new players, but after seeing him in the Club World Cup,
I did too.
I tried my best not to, but fuck's sake, this guy is so good.
He's so really good.
He's so
I didn't put him on mine.
He's so
I have him
good.
at 5. I have him at 5.
So good. I am out of words. I thought that.
Well, you got to balance it out, Mila. You got to balance out. Like you got to give a bigger push. Players will play nonchalant gimmick. I didn't throw Colwell on here. Like it's okay.
I think that's what I was doing. I was letting Reinders fall under the radar like Colwell.
Nuh-uh, not here. We saw it, Mila.
This has been my list to not let that happen for you guys. Like I've been breaking your guys' higher. Yeah. So I
investing early.
Tax, it's pretty impressive for him to come straight into the city side and look that dumb.
I mean, yeah, I think we talked about it in the last video. He checks a lot of those boxes in terms of just the creativity that we were missing. And yeah, he kind of just is
Who's your 5, son?
A better variant of Gundo at that age. So
true. Who's your 5?
My 5 is Enzo. I think that's a lot of growth on my part, considering
fair.
Probably wouldn't have been anywhere near there last year.
Fair.
We can get. Yeah, I think he's definitely adjusted to the price tag, to the leadership, and just the overall play that Chelsea's doing. And he's risen in my list, and he could probably rise further. I'm just putting him at 5 right now. I think that's very respectful of me. Enzo.
I'm falling out of like
everything's relative, like I said.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like I said, very relative.
Grant, who is your 4?
Who's my 4? I have Bruno Guimaraes. And again, I know we think of him as more of a 6, but I'm just, again, thinking more what they were doing towards the end of the year. But him getting more forward into the final third, I think unlocked a lot, helped with their counter pressing. Just almost like taking an animal off a leash, metaphorically. I think that suits him a lot more, especially with the armband. He can lead by example. I got him at 4.
Yeah, my 4 is McAllister.
Ooh.
Like I said, Liverpool for me was a team effort, and them having 2 of the top 5 midfielders in their position is why it worked so well. I think he's great technically. He also had timely goals throughout the season. So McAllister at 4. I hate putting Liverpool players on these fucking lists.
I know.
Are you guys ready for my 4?
Yeah.
Let's go, Mila.
It's Granit Xhaka.
Oh, there's a new number. Come on, son.
That's good. No, that's good. That's really good for me, Mila.
Yeah, he's a huge reason
didn't
why
cross
I
my
think
mind.
Sunderland are not going to get relegated, and I think partially, or not even partially, that is
Great shout.
a lot of it's going to come down to Granit Xhaka being one of the best 8s in the league, even after leaving the league and coming back. And like we said, I think he's only gotten better. I think he's had more responsibility on his shoulders abroad, and now he can come back and lead the Sunderland team to hopefully comfortably away from relegation.
Hopefully that 1 month with Ten Hag didn't ruin everything, but we'll see if he got infected or not. I think that's a great shout. I'm a little scarred by my Gundo being number 2 last year from an older guy coming back to the Prem, so he did not cross my line on this list. I know. He should
32.
be good.
He's not 35.
It's a great shout from you,
Yeah.
no doubt. But for me, it scars me.
Totally fair.
I couldn't even consider it. But if they stay up, he'll play a huge part, no doubt.
Mila 3.
3. Rice.
Nice. Next.
I think I kind of touched on it when we talked about Zubimendi, but that dude he's not a 6. He does not play the 6 for them, and he finally gets to call himself an 8, and this is where he ranks for me.
He can't figure out what he wants. I full frontal, don't have him on my list. Figure out what position you want to play, bud. My 3 is Bruno G.
You and me both, Dylan.
My 3 is Bruno G, Mr. Newcastle himself. You guys said all the things that need to be said about him as a player. I've actually been impressed with how good he is going forward. That wasn't a part of his game that I thought that he had, but he's evolved and become really good at that. If he was not Mr. Newcastle, I think he would have gotten to move somewhere else by now. But
he's the skipper.
He's 3.
Probably would have came to City.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Grant, did you say your 3?
I did not. I had McAllister as well. I think he's just like such an elite glue guy. Glue guy kind of has like a negative connotation for not that good, but I think it's almost one of those where kind of how they describe Busquets, and obviously they're nowhere near the same player, totally different play style. But like if you're not paying attention to McAllister, like you don't really understand how valuable he is to what they do. But I think he plays a huge part in their success. So I got him 3rd.
And who do you have at 2?
Now, this is where it gets really dicey for me. This is probably one of my weirdest one. I put Bruno Fernandes at number 2 as an 8. And again, I think his best position is a 10. We talked about it in our last episode. But from what we saw, him not at his best and being quote unquote capped out because he's playing as an 8. He looked better than I thought he would. That's for sure. I thought it was toast. I did not think he'd be able to play there, especially with whoever they got next to him. Yeah, he proved me wrong in that sense. So I got him as number 2 as an 8.
Who did I forget?
Who do you have at 2, Mila?
I have McAllister at my 2.
Okay. Yeah.
But
do you have?
I feel like I missed someone.
No.
Kovacic.
I don't think you missed anyone.
Okay. Who's your 2?
My two, and to the same point as Mila, like for him to have climbed this far up my list is pretty
Oh,
impressive.
Enzo. Okay,
Enzo.
nice.
It's Enzo. It's
Yeah.
Enzo. I have been totally, and I will be the first to admit that I was wrong about him as a player. I think that his step up in leadership within this Chelsea side has been super impressive to me. And honestly, I think the difference between him being like lower on this list and higher on this list is just what he does from a leadership perspective, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, if we look back 12 months, right, he was having that racist scandal and there was a lot of bad stuff going on with Enzo Fernandez. And then he's really settled in as one of their core leaders. And so he's my two. My one's Bruno Fernandez. And for me, it's not close. Like, I genuinely think he's one of the best midfielders in the world in the Premier League. And as an 8, 19 goals and 18 assists in one of the worst Premier League sides that United's ever put out is fucking ludicrous. Like, the stats speak for itself for me in terms of what he does on the pitch. And I don't think that there's a floor raiser because United get relegated without Bruno last year. So that's why he's my one.
He's my number one
That's
as well.
totally fair.
I think I don't see him as a 10 anymore. I think he's full transition to the 8.
Sure.
And I think he's going to be very at home in that position for the next however many years he plays in football, not even just at Manchester United. As long as he can keep up the fitness, I think he showed that he can be everywhere on that pitch. And I saw it in person in that Fulham game, and it blew me away. And that's probably why I put him at my 1, because rivalry aside, like seeing him play like that in person it was crazy.
Yeah. I only got to see him for like 30 minutes in the game that I saw, and he was still pretty good. So
that red card didn't count. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's right. Thank God. The one game I go to is a red card that doesn't count. Good for us for all putting him as an 8 and not a 10 in this list.
That's you guys didn't ask about my number 1.
Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. Is it Enzo?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bruno argument's totally fair, and the way you painted it, Mila, like I can see that. I'm not there yet, but I see the vision. So I guess that's where we differ and why I have him at 2. But Enzo, I think I've spoken enough on it, but just to paint the picture super clearly, he pushed to come to us at our worst, played as a lone 6, didn't really suit him, but he looked very good on the ball. Clearly could see the quality. Poch season was a bit of a disaster. I think he played a lot of different positions. He looked at second striker at one point, then he's a 6. It was a mess. Then he had fitness issues, had a hernia, played through injury. Long season. And then he comes into this season with all the field issues and drops like 27 GA. I mean, I didn't see that coming from him. I was always of the belief that he was better, deeper on the pitch, but I think once we get into a better state as a team, and by better, I mean more fluid, I think we can really see even more from him, whether it's to drop deep in some moments to find a pass, other times making the forward run, even just him arriving in the box and scoring goals. He seemed allergic to goals 12 months ago. That was always my thought with him. Just he's going to hit it straight at the keeper, over the bar, just never really a threat. And now it's the total opposite. I think he's grown so much, leaps and bounds, also as a leader, like you guys said. Yeah. He's impressed me so much. So, yeah, my number 1, King.
Yeah. Definitely the largest riser on all of our lists, which is kudos to him.
Fair play. Yeah. Golf clap.
Into 10s. We are at an hour and 3, so I guess we could try to speed this up a little.
We'll see.
I just have to be done by like 3.
Okay, come on.
Okay,
who's a 5?
5 for me is Odegaard.
He missed my list, mate.
Yeah, I took him.
He was really bad last year for me.
He was.
Given the standard I have for him.
I also put him at my 8s originally.
Yeah, this is the issue with Odegaard is I didn't know exactly where to put him. I feel like
I just left him off for that reason.
Fuck, dude. I could only do that with one of Arsenal's players.
I praised their whole midfield in their preview video. I do not have an Arsenal midfielder on any list.
Look, I think to Mila's point about putting him in a place where he's going to be much better, like Zubamendi is going to put Odegaard in a much more reasonable spot. Like he's good in a press, but he's not a defender.
I don't know. I think a lot of my ranking of him for this coming season is based off his performances when Saka was out of the squad, when they were missing creativity. And if that
He was
guy
awful
is
for them
top
when they
5,
needed
10
him.
in the league, then I'm concerned about the state of the league. That could just be where we're at, though. Like, if he's a top 5,
He
10,
disappeared in a lot of games.
and he couldn't create anything, because that's realistically what a world-class 10 should be able to do, is like what any playmaker in any sport should be able to do, is
Hesitancy to play the ball forward even.
raise the floor of his
I think
players
it was
with
really
his
bad for his
creativity.
standard last year.
I'll counter that with his forward line last season when Saka went out was Gabriel Martinelli, Mourinho, and fucking who played right wing, like a mix of Wyneri and
Sterling.
I can't even yeah, dude. Like, I feel like
I
he
think
had a bad
he
year.
got to raise the floor a bit. He didn't raise the floor at all, though. There was just really no creativity.
He could get back in the list
output.
very
Yeah,
easily.
of course.
But I think he had a really bad showing last year. Even when Saka got back, I thought that would kind of raise his levels, and it didn't.
He's just not a goal scorer, and that's the issue.
That's
like
fine.
as a 10,
I think he's overhyped.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I think a lot of it might be Arsenal fans doing and trying to fucking box him in with KDB. Like,
they did try to do that.
Nowhere near that level. That maybe that's where I'm basing it off of too. Is like he doesn't even touch what KDB does to me, and some of these other guys do. So fuck him.
Yeah, they're not on the same. I'm curious to see what you guys have with him.
At 5.
Yeah.
At 5, I have Cherky. This is a hopeful one for sure. I think out of all of them on any of these lists, is probably the most hopeful. But I've been convinced. Just training videos, just the way his teammates talk about him, the way his coaches talk about him. He seems special. He seems like he has a perfect left foot, a perfect right foot. His touch reminds me a lot of Mahrez. His creativity and his mentality in this, I don't like modern football. I think a lot of my hopeful ones come from their mentality. The same was with Trafford. Trafford he thinks he's number one, regardless of whether he is starting or not. He's number one. Cherky knows he's better, thinks he's better than everyone. He thinks he plays a different style, a better style of football, which could be a little arrogant, but at the end of the day, he's my 10. Want him to play like that. He has creativity flowing through him. So he's definitely got work to do to prove it and to even get into the starting 11 for City. But I think once he does, it's going to be very special. And it's going to be a joy to watch within the Premier League, which we've been missing in this position.
Hazard cosign. Hazard cosign. That's enough for me.
When we talked about United and these like right 10, left 10 players, he was the first player that went to my mind. He's that talented. He's that skillful. I think that his immersion into the side might take a little bit longer, or it might come at the casualty to somebody else. So I'm curious, like for me, I just don't know where to rank him, but he is by far like one of the most technical players in the league, like by a country mile. Like it's him and
it's scary.
Yeah. Grant, who's your 5?
Gibbs White. I think we've talked a lot about him on the channel, Mila in particular, but we know the quality he has. Big reason for us were as high as they were on the table for so long. So I think it's a safe 5, Morgan Gibbs White.
I didn't put Morgan Gibbs White in this list.
I didn't either. And I just think there's going to be a drop off this year. Not too much. I still have him in like 6-7 territory, but I think some
subjective on any given day. You know what I mean? Like it's
but if you look at just look at what we've had in the 10 spot and aging De Bruyne, just not a whole lot of talent in this area, and we just got an influx of like 3 or 4 10s into the league that are top
coming
talents. Back. It's hard for me to put Morgan Gibbs White up in the top 5, but he's still definitely top 10 caliber.
This was the hardest position group for me to fill out and be not biased and try to be subjective here, because like all of these guys that we're listing are top class players. Like they go to another team and they usually become their best player.
Yeah, I kind of cheated with my credentials, to be honest. Like each position, I have a different justification for why they're there. It's a very subjective list, very open to interpretation.
We're definitely going to be going into the next portion of this list where this position group had so many guys that I started to pigeonhole them in different portions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I cheated.
Yeah. I definitely cheated too.
Okay. What are we on? 4?
I'll do 4. I put
Cunha.
I put Cunha.
Okay, nice.
And again, someone you might put him as a left wing, you might put him up top. Like, we know where he's going to play at United. I just threw him as a 10. That's kind of just what I see him as. That's
Fair.
my cope for why I put him as a 10. But I think just the qualities there. You saw it at Wolves, kind of turn nothing into something. Can drop deep, carry the ball, clearly can strike the ball with both feet. Scored a ton of bangers last year. I think you're a lot for him to put up the same goal numbers, but no doubt he'll probably have a really positive impact on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mila, who's your 4?
My 4 is words. I'm hoping for the worst, but he is very talented. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to seeing him play for Liverpool at all, and I hope he fails miserably. So, but I cannot deny his talent.
My 4 is Foden, and he is the one player on this list that could have been out of this list, but also could have been at number 1.
Number 1.
Yep.
Like, fuck. I don't like. I didn't know what to do with Foden. But
it's really.
So I put him at 3.
How he bounces back.
I put him at 3.
Had to be on my list.
Again. Justification's very different. Cunha obviously subjectively had a much better season than Phil Foden last year. Phil Foden's also been in City's first team for a very long time, considering his age, and won the Player of the Year before. So there's so many different ways to go about this list and why you put people where. To your point, I think Foden belongs in that conversation of top 10s in the league. Yeah. Last year does not help his case, but I think the years previous, those help his case. I think we'll definitely see a better version of him than last year. How close he gets back to the Player of the Year form, but there's clearly quality there. Like, it's not like he's permanently what he was last year. I don't think that's a conversation to even have.
So you jumped to your 3. I'm a little confused. Did you say your 4?
He did.
Yeah, Cunha.
Oh fuck! I'm blanking so hard. We've said so many names that I'm really struggling.
Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to. I felt like it was a natural transition.
Yeah, I'll talk on Foden after I give my 3.
Yeah.
But my 3 is Morgan Rogers. He's one of the most powerful carriers of the ball I've seen in a very long time. In terms of counters, just dribbling it with space, he's second to none, I think, in the league. But I would like to see a bit of a raise in terms of his tight dribbles and his overall just playmaking. I think he was a little hard done by Ollie Watkins finishing early in the season last year, but it needs to show and it needs to translate into points onto the table for Aston Villa. So I think this is a big prove-it year for him. He definitely has prying eyes now, and this is the year where if he wants a big move, if he wants a big contract extension at Villa, this is where he gets it.
Yeah,
and
might have met
for
a
Foden
position.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so me and Grant did a little flip flopping here. He's also look, 8 and 10 in his first full season in the Prem is pretty fucking good. Him and Baleba are the 2 most sought out midfielders or midfield talents for me in the Premier League. So I'm not gonna echo what you said because I agree with all of it. Grant, your 3. Or did you just say your 3?
No, I didn't. My 3. My 3. No, Foden.
He did.
Foden.
Did.
Foden.
Okay, so my 2 is Foden. Everything you guys said totally valid, but I think in consideration to the profiles that we brought into the team, this is what unlocks Foden. Is we went from this dull, fucking boring team where Foden was kind of the only one that we relied on to create anything, and that's not really him. He's not the sole creator in the team.
No.
This year we're gonna have the likes of Reinders, of Cherky, more threat with Marmoush, hopefully Savio, Bob, Doku all improve. And then I think that's gonna unlock him, honestly. He loves this game, and when he has fun playing the game is when he's at his best. I think that vibe is back, that friendly family vibe that we had a couple years ago where everyone was just enjoying their footy is coming back. So if he's back with that mentality, if his behind the scenes stuff is taken care of, then I think he's going to be a top 10 in this league again. But I only have him at 2.
Fair. Grant, do we have the same 2 and 1? We all have the same one.
We all have the same one.
I got Wirtz. I got Wirtz at 2. I'm pretty high on him. I'm a German homer, no doubt. But I think especially coming off the ACL from a few years ago, there were questions and he came back and answered all those. He's not one of those guys that's going to put up stupid numbers, so I think you're going to see a lot of dialogue about him the first few months, flop and this and that. But I think all things considered, this is a player of the highest quality. And I think again, I might just be way higher on slot than you guys. That just might be what it is, but I don't really doubt that he'll be a success there. I think that's really what it comes down to. I think I'm just really high on the coach and the setup that they have there. Yeah, I think he's
a whole lot of bread to live up to.
Yeah, that's
not everyone can live up to it. Is my thing. So I know we would have paid about the same for him, but
yeah,
they paid a lot more than we were willing to pay. Like this, I don't know.
Yeah, he's really good. For me to put someone who hasn't touched the ball in the Premier League this high says how I think of the player. Like, look,
he's the only one I have on my list
that transfer
played yet.
record. Like, he will be very good,
of course.
But he's behind Palmer, and Palmer's just been the best 10 in the world for a period of time. I don't really have. We talk about Palmer so much, but
we need to
very good.
To speed it up slightly. So
yeah, he's so good, dude.
We will talk about him again.
Just so you guys know, it will die. So at some point, my camera is going to die.
Okay, let's go.
It's blinking at me. So let's
go
to left wingers. I will jump in at 5 with Anthony Gordon, Newcastle's like only real winger to me. Now that they have Elanga, it's a little different, but he's been very good. And I think ever since going there from Everton, you've seen the evolution in his game. He's gotten a lot better one-on-one, and he's growing. I think that he has the potential to move up this list for sure. But for right now, I have him at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I also have him at 5. I think the leap is becoming being relied upon more. And I think with the ESAC situation up in the air, I think we are going to see that leap from him. But I think just off quality alone, I also have him at 5.
This is okay. Interesting. I have Mitoma at 5. We've
very nice
enough. I don't think we need to go into it.
I have him at 4.
Very good dribble.
Grant has him at 4. There you go.
We're making great progress here.
He's not on my
list.
Not
on your list?
No.
Oh!
I told you I pigeonholed different players to these positions because I didn't know what to do with them.
Oh, you should see what I did.
I have Gakpo at 4.
Okay.
Gakpo. He was really good last year. Took a leap. He probably starts at left wing, maybe.
Interesting.
If they want to ease in.
Okay. Yeah. I think he doesn't. We should just move on to number 3 because I have Gakpo at number 3.
Oh, nice.
I think he's quality. I always think he's.
Wait, I didn't even say my 4.
Oh.
Bullocks.
It's Doku.
Wow.
And I think he has potential to rise to
1
easily if he can put it together. But yeah, I got Doku at 4.
So then who's your 3?
My 3?
Yeah. Who?
Cunha.
Oh, Cunha. Oh, sorry. just didn't hear you. Yeah, fair. Grant, you said you have Gakpo at 3.
I had Gakpo. I just think he doesn't get talked about when we talk about all their forward options. I feel like he's kind of like all reliable over there. I think he's quality.
He is quality.
Interesting.
My 3 is Eze. I told you I was going to pigeon that position good to me. It's so good that I had to put him somewhere, and I'm putting him at 3.
I can't believe you pigeonholed someone at left wing, Dylan. I would never do something like that.
Because you're about to do that for 2?
I'm doing it for 1.
Oh, fuck's sake. You're doing it for 1. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know Eze, but he's my 3.
It was unethical what I did for my left wing list, but
who's your 2, Mila?
Got it.
My 2 is Marmoush.
Oh, I have somewhere else.
Dude,
that's where he's playing. Like that's where he's gonna play.
No, that's fair.
Our list.
He's not a winger. That's why I didn't put him as a winger.
He's never gonna play striker.
No, that's true.
Unless Holland wants to go on vacation, he's never gonna play striker. Like
I saw the names on like my left wing. I saw the names at striker. I'm like, I like the names I put down, so I'm not gonna think about how I finessed and made it work because I cheated. Number 2, I put Doku at number 2. I think the Club World Cup, again, maybe it's a little bit of investing in the future, if you will, but I saw a lot of the Club World Cup were like, oh, they're just funneling chances 1v1 out wide.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that enough, and the big critique of him being wasteful, I think he's understanding it more. So again, we're banking on a leap here, but I think he was number 1 on my list until I forgot a name, and then I pigeonholed it. But I think maybe it's a state of the wingers on the left in this league, but
Yeah.
Doku's in that conversation for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doku is also my 2. All the same reasons. The left wing position is kind of crap. So
who do you have at 1?
Yeah.
Cunha.
Cunha. Yeah, I put him at
Who do
10.
you have at 1?
Morgan Rogers.
I knew it.
Okay,
I knew you were doing that.
I put Anthony Gordon at number 1.
I probably should have just switched
your 5
as a winger.
Or both of
winger.
you is Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Anthony Gordon at 5.
I know you both had him.
He had a down year.
He's my 1.
Yeah. Fair.
I just think he's. It goes back to the left wing position not being phenomenal in the league.
He's still good though, no doubt.
He's very good. No, he's a great talent. I just think we've had better options in the league. So in any 5 years, 10 years ago, he would not be top 5.
Agreed.
But he is right now. He's number 1 in my eyes right now.
Looking at my list now, my positioning, I probably could have put Cunha as a left wing, Rogers as a 10, and that could have solved a lot of our issues here. Especially considering if we're done and moving on to right wing. Are we doing that?
Yeah.
Because I put in Mbumo as my number 5 right winger, but Cunha's in my 10s list. So, yeah, maybe in hindsight, I could have put Rogers in the middle, Cunha left wing, Mbumo right
consistency.
No. Positional fluidity in my lists.
Interesting.
But I have Mbumo as my number 5. I think the goals speak for themselves. We've talked enough about what Mbumo does, what he's capable of. So,
you see your 5, though?
Positionally, my list may be a little fluked, but yeah.
My 5's Kulu. I thought that was his breakout year for Spurs.
I left him off.
I think that I actually think he's going to play the 10 with Madison being
exactly. That's why I left him off.
Right. It's a disaster. The positional stuff is confusing here.
Bye.
So Kulu at 5 for me.
At 5, I had Elenga ?
Elenga ?
Oh, I totally
had a
left
really
him off.
tough time picking right wingers outside of the top 4 that I had. So Elenga was just my insert there. I think he's improved a lot in his time, but this move is kind of a prove it for me.
Can he do it against the low block, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That fairs. Want to go to number 4?
Yeah, I could do my 4.
Yep. Run it.
Kudus. Again, you guys know I'm not that high on Kudus. So for me,
I got him there
put
too.
At my 4 is saying a lot, I think, for the positions. But
I have him there.
He's fast. He's a good dribbler. If he gets his shot on the other side of the post this year, maybe we'll talk about him different. But he likes to hit the woodwork a lot. So almost goals don't count.
I also have him there.
I don't have him on my list.
Oh,
not on my list.
Who's your 4?
My 4 is Jared Bowen.
I
totally left him out.
And
I did too, on purpose.
Absolutely. And you know my thoughts on Jared Bowen.
I know.
You know my thoughts on the player. So I think that he's just become that player for West Ham, and he deserves to be on my list, unfortunately. But shout out to Bowen. So he's my 4.
He does deserve to be on the list. I totally forgot him. I didn't purposely omit. I did forget.
I purposely omit. I think it's all right. Oh,
now you get my
nice
whole bedroom.
All right, are we doing? Because I had Kudus at 4. I don't think we need to talk too much about it. We had a whole fucking 10-minute argument about it.
I had Mbumo
at 3.
3
at 3. Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
One. I had Kulusevski. Even though I also Kulusevski is more of a middle player. Again, I'm shoehorning people because I like the games I saw on my forward positions. I liked. So I enjoyed it. Kulusevski's top. And I think he'll get the playing time to further show what he's about.
Yeah. Hopefully he stays healthy.
And then I feel like 2 and 1 are 2 and 1 are pretty straightforward. The Saka, Salah.
Yeah, you could go watch some other losers podcasts where they talk about those 2 in depth. I don't really care to do it.
I don't care enough about either, but they're both very good. You can have them either or.
Yeah. We're moving straight to strikers. I really don't care. I don't care about
hell yeah. I didn't have to say their names.
Yeah, you didn't have to say their names. Mila's still MIA. It really could be 2 random right wingers.
Strikers, let's get it.
Strikers.
I can
Victor
start.
Gyökeres.
Oh.
At
You
5.
said Gyökeres?
Yeah.
He said Gyökeres at 5.
He's not on my list.
Fair enough.
Ooh.
He hasn't played yet. The only guy I've given that to is Verts. The only guy I've given that to is
Fair
Verts.
enough, bro. I just don't think.
I can't
don't
imagine
think
him flopping that
the
hard.
leagues- Yeah.
I can't imagine
I
him
don't
flopping
think
that.
with the strikers in our league are not that great.
Well, I
in
mean,
my
I have
opinion.
Jean-Philippe Mateta at number 5.
Yeah,
I
that's-
also have him at number 5.
That's a known commodity, and that's kind of where I went to. It's safe. It's easy. We also don't like
You
the
don't
Arsenal.
think he's going to be
But-
better than Mateta, though?
Prove it. In 2 months, he can very well be there. But I do not. I've been
That's
consistent.
fair. I
with,
mean,
I
I was
don't
just
love
like, I
Gyökeres' game. I don't know the translation. I got to see it first
Yeah.
before I'm going to just slap him in my top 5.
I'm not with the thought process that Gyökeres is going to come back like 35 goals. But I don't think he's going to be just some average striker in this league. I think he's going to be slightly above average, which is great. Good for them. I don't know
Absolutely.
if that'll necessarily get them over the line, but
At top 5?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, better than I think he'll outscore Mateta this year.
Yeah, look,
Mateta
they're
plays
gonna
for Crystal Palace. I'd hope he outscores him.
I think he'd outscore him comfortably this year. But we'll
He
see.
should.
I'm not super sold on Mateta. You guys both know that, and I put him in my 5. I'm not
I am. I'm
a
all
big
in.
fan of the strikers in this league outside of 1 and 2.
you put Marmouche at left wing, and he's my 4. So
Mhm.
that's where like a Mateta for me kind of
That's
falls
fair.
out of this list, is because I think Marmouche is really fucking good. And
Mm.
I think I see him as a second striker, even if he's playing off the left wing. He's not doing left wing stuff for me.
Yeah.
So I have him at 4 for that reason. But it's not like what you were saying is not wrong. Like he's going to play off the left.
Yeah.
So he's my 4.
What are we doing at 4? I put I put João Pedro, the guy who I said was convinced was not going to play striker for us. It's total recency bias, but I just saw the player in there, and again, maybe it's investing a little bit into the future, but just this more free-flowing, less rigid system with an intelligent player like that, with the ball striking that he has. I think that was something we really focused on, is ball striking in a lot of these forwards. I think there's a really high ceiling for what he can do with the players around him in the forward line and our midfield. I think he'll really flourish.
Fair. I'm going to say he's not on my list because
Fair.
For me, he's one of those players that has done this very often, where he goes 5-6 matches where he's just unstoppable, and then he gets benched.
Oh, yeah, it's a honeymoon
like,
phase.
No, but look, he played so well in the Club World Cup. That's not ludicrous. It's not even like it wouldn't even close to absurd. So I understand why you have him there. For me, that's why he's not on my list, is because I need to see.
I have a blue tint. I've got a blue tint.
He's my 3rd.
No lie.
He's your 3rd.
It was Pedro, right? I also didn't hear you with the name you said.
João Pedro, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have
Wow.
João Pedro at 3. And Gyökeres
Have that,
at
Dylan.
4.
Wow.
Have
Really?
that.
You know I don't like him, but he changed my mind during the Club World Cup. I saw the light.
Special from the minute
no,
he stepped on.
No, I'm shocked at the rest of your list if you have him at 3.
It's very clear. Did I miss someone?
Yeah, you missed someone. You had to have
Ollie
missed someone.
Watkins.
Oh.
Ollie Watkins. You had to.
No. I
Really?
I didn't. I purposely.
I left him off
He's
too.
going on like
You guys
32, isn't
left
he?
Ollie Watkins.
29. I left him
He's
off.
29 and he scored fucking. He had 30 GA. What?
Damn.
Yeah,
He had
sorry,
30
mate.
G last.
Overlook.
No.
I just don't. They're not going to be as good. Let's be honest. He's not going to replicate that this year. They haven't picked up anyone.
He's done that in like 4 of the last 5 seasons.
It's not going to happen. The Bailey fell off a cliff after one of those seasons, though. Like all the talent that they had, the upward trajectory has dropped off, and the only thing they have now is Morgan Rogers.
And that's why I got him in
that's
finishing in the
still-
Champions League.
I didn't have them high in my rankings, so I feel like I can't even put him up there.
Oh, I'm going against myself with the logic, but I don't really care.
But yeah, I don't have Ollie.
I'm actually
I
shocked
don't
you
have
both took off and put
Ekitike
Mateta
either.
over.
I'm a
like
huge
TK.
fan of Mateta.
Mateta's like the same age as Ollie Watkins.
It's not the
There's
age
just something
thing. I
about
just
him,
think he
Dylan.
showed a little more last season, but I'm still not
Wow.
sold on
Won a
either of them
trophy
right
as
now.
well. That's the currency.
Wow. I'm a little shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I don't that. Wow.
He single-handedly gets them up the pitch. Like, you just put it at that lump of a man, and he can hold the ball, carry it, lay it off, play it forward. I mean, he can do a lot more than appears to the eye when you see just his build. I think he is genuinely underrated, but again, I'm also a huge fan.
No, I like him too.
I think a lot of the Ollie numbers were inflated from the incomings of Rashford.
He got benched for
From
Rashford
Asensio.
in the Champions League. They
I just
benched
think
him.
a lot of it is not going to be replicated this season.
Said a lot to me, and I think the rumblings as well. I don't think they're particularly fussed if he leaves or not. From what it
They've
sounds
tried
they
to
are.
hand him out twice.
They are.
If they've tried
They
to
tried to
him
get
out.
rid of him in January. They asked Arsenal to take him, and they got
For
lowballed.
60 million.
Yeah, they got lowballed.
Like, it wasn't for nothing.
60
I
million
know.
is honestly, that's not a lot of money for what the numbers he does have and the fact that he's English. That's pretty cheap.
It's the age. You guys, dude, I don't
He was
know.
28 in January.
He had 17 and 14 last season.
I understand that. I just think a
And then
lot of it is comes down to the players that were around him, and now there's no one around him. It's just Morgan Rogers in terms of creativity. And they have a lot of young guys that need to prove it. If they prove it, then he can totally come back in this. But I couldn't put him top 5.
Fair.
I think
guess
Gyökeres is stepping into a system that he's just gonna get goals, and they might not be on paper. He might not look like this phenomenal striker, but he's definitely gonna have these goals.
I have no
the other
issue
guys.
with the other guys that you
There's
guys
more
have.
Mateta.
Yeah, for me, it's like when we're looking at the back end of the list here, and we're talking about like João Pedro, who hasn't even been close to his goal tallies.
He's a world champion.
It's more so him being inserted into a Chelsea team.
World champion.
Yeah,
we saw what he did. Yeah, as soon as he walked into that team, that chip in the final against one of the most informed keepers in the world, like that told me a lot about him. As soon as he stepped on the field against Palmeiras, instant impact. Fluminense, 2 goals. Like that entrance, and again, it was only 3 games, 2 starts, but it just spoke volumes. He was like, "Oh, you can just walk in like here and do that? Okay." That says a lot to me. I had Marmoush at 3. I feel like we talked enough about him. He's very quality. He stepped into City and immediately gave them goals, whether it was off the left, the right, the middle, straight up top. Doesn't really matter. He'll find a way to score. So yeah, whatever position he's playing, I just ended up putting him at striker because, like you said, Dylan, I see him in these central areas. That's the type of player, at least. So yeah, and then it's Isak and Holland, right?
Yeah, and the question is where do you have him? Where does anybody have?
No, Holland's got to be number 1.
Okay.
Holland's got to be number 1. You got to give him that.
You
You got to give him that respect.
It's Isak, yeah.
It's edgy.
Holland is Isak's best number.
It's edgy to give Isak number 1. Isak was fantastic last year, but let's not forget the injury history with him. This output's only been going on a few years. Holland's been doing this for a minute. Like, we can't underestimate what Holland actually is. Like, you can't take those types of players for granted because of how high they set the bar. This is a once-in-a-generation level striker, and he's only getting better. He continues to get better, especially when they strengthen the team around him, which, again, is focused on creating chances for him. I don't think there's any doubt. But again, Isak is very good. He's a victim of, again, a once-in-a-generation freak of an athlete.
Right. If
They
we were
both
talking,
are.
we've talked about Holland a ton, but like if you were to just put Holland on the open market right now, like Isak is kind of at, how much would Holland?
200 million. 200 million
at least.
At least base without any
Yeah.
add-ons.
The
maybe
floor is
players
200 million
thrown in.
euros.
I think there's 2 players in our team that would be almost untouchable, or you'd have to fucking give us all your draft picks if you want to put it in more of an American sense. But
Holland
like
and
Rodri and
Bettinelli.
Holland are those guys.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think they're touchable.
No, they're not.
Especially if they want to stay, like there's no price tag that is getting them out unless it's like $1 billion, or you're gonna give us 50% of your club. Barcelona, give me my money.
You know how much it hurt me to not have Nicholas Jackson on this list, guys?
Oh, it felt so good.
This is a call to action.
This is a
15. This is a call to action. You belong here, son. 14 goals your first year, 10 goals last year, and a very disappointing end to it. Show us what you're worth, King. I'm hearing 100 million on your name. Show what you're about. I don't think his story's over yet. I don't think it's over yet. Maybe I'm holding on to my last bit of hope, but I will not forget what he's done for us these past 2 years. What do you have for me? One more year, Nico. All I ask. I think you got something for me.
No. Cool. We good to end it?
Yeah,
Definitely. Like 3 hours of recording today.
I was just about to say, if you made it to this point on either Wednesday or Thursday, whenever I get this up, and you listened to 3 hours worth of our content, please, for the love of all gods, drop us a like, a comment, fucking follow. I don't care. Like, you got to do something for making it this far. But from Grant, from Mila, from myself, this has been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 56. And we will see you guys in the next one.
2 words for him. Different gravy.
Glorious goal! Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent! Potentially life-changing! That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.